On May 19, 1536, Queen Anne Boleyn was executed at the Tower of London. She was King Henry VIII's second wife, charged with adultery, incest, and treason. But today, most historians believe the charges were likely fabricated. Henry was disappointed she didn't bear a son and turned his attention to Jane Seymour. His minister, Thomas Cromwell, moved to eliminate Anne for political stability. After a short trial, Anne was found guilty. She was beheaded by a swordsman from France, swift and precise. She met her death with dignity. Her daughter Elizabeth would become one of England's greatest monarchs. Anne Boleyn's death marked a turning point in England's Reformation and royal power. On May 20, 1498, Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama arrived in Calicut, India. He was the first European to open a sea route to India. Why did he want to reach India so badly? It was all about spices. At the time, Europe was obsessed with spices like pepper and nutmeg, which were controlled by Muslim traders in Venice. Portugal wanted to cut out the middlemen and establish a direct sea route to India. Da Gama sailed around Africa's Cape of Good Hope, followed the east coast of Africa, and with the help of a local navigator, crossed the Indian Ocean. He finally arrived at Calicut, on the western coast of India. However, clashes with local rulers meant no immediate success in trade. But this journey was of huge significance. A new sea route connecting Europe and Asia, and the start of the Portuguese Empire. This small voyage would change the course of the age of exploration. On May 21, 1904, the world of football changed forever. That day in Paris, the Fédération Internationale de Football Association, FIFA, was born. 7 European countries joined: France, Belgium, Denmark, Netherlands, Spain, Sweden, and Switzerland. England? They joined later. Why was FIFA needed? Rules differed between countries and matches were hard to coordinate. Football needed one global organization to bring order and unity. FIFA's goal was clear: unify the rules of world football. From this beginning came the World Cup, and 211 member nations today. May 21, 1904, the day global football was born. May 22, 1455. St. Albans, England. The Wars of the Roses have begun. The House of York with the white rose. The House of Lancaster with the red rose. A brutal struggle for the English crown unfolds. King Henry VI, plagued by mental illness, left a power vacuum. Richard of York seized the chance, claiming his right to the throne. In the narrow streets of St. Albans, the Yorkists launched a surprise attack. They captured Henry VI, a shocking victory. But this was only the beginning. The Wars of the Roses would rage for 30 years, changing the fate of a kingdom. May 23, 1618. Prague Castle. A handful of nobles prepare to defy an empire. For years, Bohemia simmered with religious tension. Catholics versus Protestants under Habsburg rule. The new king, Ferdinand II, was a devout Catholic. He planned to crush Protestant freedoms. But Bohemian nobles wouldn't stand by. They stormed the royal council chamber. In a flash of fury, they grabbed the emperor's envoys and hurled them out the window. 3 men fell 15 meters and survived, landing in a pile of dung and trash. But the act had spoken. Rebellion had begun. This was the spark. The 30 Years' War had begun. A religious protest turned into a European nightmare. May 24, 1822. On Mount Pichincha, the Andes awakened to gunfire. This day would change Ecuador's fate. General Antonio José de Sucre, under Bolívar's command, leads the Liberation Army south. Their mission: to free Quito, the last Spanish stronghold. The Royalists defend the high ground, but Sucre uses the rugged terrain to launch a surprise attack. After fierce fighting, the Spanish lines collapse. Quito is liberated. Ecuador wins its independence and joins Gran Colombia. May 24 is now celebrated as Ecuador's Independence Day. History's fire always begins with courage. May 25, 1810. Buenos Aires. Thousands gathered in the square shouting one demand:
Remove the Viceroy!
This was the beginning of Argentina's independence. Viceroy Cisneros was the puppet of Napoleonic Spain. But the people had enough. Why should a foreign king rule our land? On May 22, an open town meeting was held. The citizens demanded the viceroy resign. On May 25, the first junta, the new government, was born. It was the first crack in the Spanish Empire. By 1816, Argentina would declare full independence. But it all began with voices in the square.